Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a massive shift in how we find anything online. You know that list of search results we've all lived with? Well, it's starting to disappear. And if you're not paying attention, your brand might just disappear right along with it.
I mean, think about it. For the last, 2 decades, search was so simple, so predictable. You'd type in a question and boom, you got that classic page of 10 blue links. And the whole game was just get to the top of that list. Simple.
But now, in the age of AI, that list is totally vanishing. Instead of a bunch of options to click on, these new generative search engines, we're talking Google's AI overviews, ChatGPT, Perplexity, they're just giving you the answer. One single synthesized answer right there at the top.
And you can see where this is going, right? This creates a massive new problem for everyone. If your brand, your product, your awesome content isn't part of that one definitive answer, you're basically invisible. The game hasn't just changed, it's a whole new sport. Okay, so let's really dive into what's behind this massive shift. We're talking about the end of search, as we've known it for our entire adult lives.
And look, this isn't some tiny little trend we're talking about. This is a massive, seismic shift. We're talking hundreds of millions of questions every single day being answered directly by an AI. This completely changes the game, totally rewiring that connection between someone's question and where they get the answer.
So if the old rules are out the window, how on earth do you even compete? Well, that brings us to the rise of a brand new discipline. It's called GEO.
Right. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO for short. This is a whole new playbook being written right now to tackle this exact challenge. See, it's not about climbing a list of links anymore. The new goal is to become a trusted source that gets cited inside the AI's answer.
And the workhorses behind GEO? They're called APIs, Application Programming Interfaces. You can just think of them as messengers that let different pieces of software talk to each other. So in this world, they're what let marketing teams automatically figure out when an AI is using their content, and then, and this is the key part, act on those insights at a massive scale. Okay, so what does this new world of tools even look like? Let's take a quick tour of the key players who are literally building the GEO landscape as we speak.
Now, before we jump into the tools themselves, I think it's really interesting to see how they were even scored. You can see right here that coverage and how actionable the insights are, they got the most weight. And that tells you everything, doesn't it? It's not enough to just get a fire hose of data. You need the right data, and you need to know exactly what to do with it.
And what's cool is that this landscape really has something for everyone. You've got the big guns, like Contently, which is #1 on the list, perfect for huge enterprise teams that need the whole shebang, a complete end-to-end workflow. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got something like Pizzo AI, which is all about simplicity and speed for smaller shops and agencies. And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale we're dealing with, look at this number. A massive player like Semrush, they've got data on over 26.5 billion keywords. But here's the kicker for GEO. They're now building specific data points for Google's AI overviews right into their tools. That's a huge deal. Yeah, and this table just gives you a fantastic snapshot of the whole landscape. What you can see right away is that this is not a one-size-fits-all market. Not at all. There are super specialized tools for basically any needs you can think of, from something like SERP API for just grabbing the raw results, all the way to Rank Scale, which lets you simulate how an AI will see your content before you publish. Pretty wild.
All right, so you've got the tools, you get the landscape, but how do you actually put this stuff into practice and, win? Let's walk through a few real-world playbooks.
So playbook number 1, this is kind of foundational, setting up an always-on monitoring system. This basically means you're automatically pulling data every single day to see how visible you are. And the most important part, you set up alerts that scream at you the second your share of citations in AI answers takes a nosedive.
Okay, moving up a level, we've got proactive QA. This is so cool. Before you even think about hitting publish, you can now run your draft content through these APIs. They'll check if it's ready for AI, and even give you a preview of how different models, from ChatGPT to Gemini, are probably going to summarize your work. And then, for the really advanced teams, you can actually go on the offensive. I love this. This playbook is all about actively teaching the AI. You use APIs to feed it verified facts and info that it might be missing, and then you just keep checking its answers until, bam, it starts citing you as the source.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? It really all comes down to one critical question for your team. Is your content ready for this?
Naturally, a question that comes up all the time is, okay, does this new GEO thing just replace good old-fashioned SEO? Like, is all that work on keywords and backlinks dead?
The answer is a huge, resounding yes. You absolutely still need traditional SEO. Look, think of it like this. SEO is what gets the AI models to even see your pages in the first place. All that foundational stuff, crawlability, backlinks, that's still mission critical. GEO is what comes next. It's the craft of influencing what the AI says about you once it's seen your stuff. So here's the really crucial point. GEO is moving past just being something you look at on a dashboard. It's about building automated systems, pipelines really, that are constantly monitoring, testing, and optimizing your content for these AI engines 24/7. So let's just leave it with this one final thought. This massive shift, it's not coming soon, it's already here. Right now, as we speak, AI is crawling and reading your website, your articles, your product descriptions. So the only real question left to ask is your content ready for it?